I mean, I'm sure. Listen, y'all can get it out. I'm for it. Get it out.
I mean, I'll take it out if you want.
Take it out. Whip it out. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dinks with Kinks. I am your host, John Undera, and I will be leaving all of that in. Before we get started tonight,
Damn it!
Before we get started tonight, I want to remind everyone that to follow us on that social media at Dinks with Kinks on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Reach out, talk to us. We love to hear from you. And if you really want to see our faces, you can join us every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thedondero. Live streams. With me tonight, as always, is the very worshipful, the very goddess-like Miss Rebecca.
Oh, I'm a goddess. Hello, everyone.
And the man that everyone fears to worship but can't help themselves, Mr. Shep.
Good evening, I think.
I never fear worshiping him. Never.
Everyone's scared because they don't feel worthy enough to worship the Shep. They're scared that they are not worthy. How y'all doing? Good to be back. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. It's good to be back.
Hi.
Meow.
So tonight we are talking about a very fun subject. I don't know if you could get it from the intros. You may not be able to get it from the intros. But tonight we are talking about feet.
Well, he can be a part of it.
Maybe legs.
Or navels.
Navels. Or maybe butts.
Butts.
Caboose.
Or perhaps the boy loins.
Pussies.
Pussies.
Some
Ooh, a little bit of yeah.
Is that what we're calling them now? Mother talker.
Maybe a little bit
calling them.
a little bit of boob action in there as well. How about just the hands? People don't think about the hands. They always leave the hands out. They're very popular.
I never leave the hands out. I love hands.
I'm very hands-on.
Handsy. Yeah.
And, I don't want to discount them, the very few, but still worthy of this mention, elbow fans.
Buenos.
Yeah. And, just let's go ahead. Face in general. Face and head, everything.
Everybody worships my face.
Exactly. And if you really want to worship our face, you'll tune every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thedondero. Seriously, come say hey to us.
See me.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, tonight we are talking about body worship. Or just like worship of one's body.
I love body worship.
Yeah.
I really do. It's such a great one.
I am not a religious man, so this one's new to me. I'm just kidding. I am absolutely all about this kink.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no.
Hold please, what?
Jeb, are you familiar with body worship is and what it all entails?
I do. Do you guys?
Yes, but it's hard to, I guess, put to words for me. And
well, too bad.
In the simplest sense, it is just the fixation and worship of an aspect or the entirety of a person's body.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but we're going to go into a little more detail just because we've got to stretch this out into a whole episode.
Stretch it out, big boy.
We've got to stretch it out.
If you guys do know what it is, well, too bad. I'm going to tell you anyway. Body worship is exactly that.
Hit us with it.
Oh, it's actually right. Okay, cool.
You were. Body worship is the fixation or obsession with either an individual body part or an individual person. These fixations can lead to deity worship, all the way up to just, your average foot fetish. everything in between. So this is actually like a very encompassing fetish that has so much involved. We're gonna try to get.
I like
into
how you
the-
started off with deity worship and then moved up to foot fetish worship.
Yeah.
I know, right? Moved
Right?
up. So
Right.
where are their feet? How are they positioned so that their feet are up?
I mean,
Oh,
you already know.
Oh, you guys are gonna learn so much.
Oh, okay.
New positions for everyone. No, I would say it wasn't a move up. I think it's a very lateral thing because depending on how you view this fetish or this kink, it could be any number of things. Usually, this is very poignant to someone who likes pedesting people. Now, a lot of people think this is like a sub-dom relationship style thing. It is not.
No, I think that this is like even with vanilla people. I think people that don't understand that this is a fetish could be a fetish, in you know how you appreciate and take your time in a certain body part or with a certain person, and I think that this is one of those that everyone participates in. I feel at some level.
Or we hope. Because
Yes,
you know
they
there
can
are
just
some
say,
selfish.
"Let me kneel before you, spread your thighs, and worship at your temple."
Yes. Let's go to church. Why? Because I want to worship you.
I have prayers every Sunday at St. Matrice. Matrice, I mean. Yes.
Matrice, are you talking to me? I hope that's about me. You're gonna worship me, right? Oh no. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, my bad.
I mean,
Can't let the hair all my secrets.
Man, the looks I got, I was like, well, shit. Okay, well, fine then.
No,
Fuck you too.
I'm not. Listen,
Both of your
I'm
faces,
more-
it was like,
No, see,
I'm
I
more
prefer
of a-
a secret sect.
I'm more of
Oh.
a fan of Greek religions where you can worship many goddesses and gods at the same
Okay.
time.
Yeah. Oh wow.
They're all
But-
they're all here and
that
about.
still doesn't stop you from worshiping. Fine, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's all good. My
I-
temple's empty.
listen,
My temple
I
is
don't
empty
think
and sad.
I don't think I waved my head no or gave any you can't say that word, any hint that I did not worship you or would not worship you.
It was the looks both of you gave me. You're like, I was like, oh,
Well,
okay.
because at first I thought you were referring
I can't
to
start a
yourself
secret
as a
cult
mattress.
if you talk about the secret cult.
You're right. You're right.
God almighty.
It's a whole new meaning.
First rule of Rebecca worship: you don't talk about Rebecca worship.
Right?
Oh, okay. So it's got it. All right, my bad.
Because then everyone will be doing it. And it will cheapen the religion.
Oh,
It's a jealous
Oh.
religion.
Mm-hmm.
Very possessive.
it's the very, very, very sacred, top secret.
But
Sacred temple.
like-
words.
the one thing that I learned while like researching this is because my initial thought was this is very like sub-dom oriented, and it's not, because you think of like worship me slave and almost a degradation style, which it can be, but the core of this is absolutely just almost obsession. And it has nothing to do with power struggle in one way or another, because you guys can be on the same playing field as far as relationship and still very much be into this kink and about this kink. So
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's on my list. Like, cock worship, pussy worship, like that whole. Just, but it's just they're beautiful things, and like I find them, and just to spend the time to touch it and lick it or whatever, and just appreciate it is just spend time down there, like without anything.
Yeah.
Just appreciate it, like for long excessive periods of time. I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah. Yes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like
Hang
the
out.
feel of it.
Caress.
Yeah, like
Talk
the
to it.
feel
Just
of whatever.
have a good
I
conversation.
think for me, for a body part, like the feel of it, the touch of it, and I feel like I don't have a foot fetish, but I feel like the same thing with somebody that has a foot fetish, like massaging it, touching it, caressing it, looking at it, appreciating it. I feel like
Yeah.
that's not a dom sub thing. That is just an admiration and a I don't feel like that you're right. There's not a power struggle there.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it's it could easily be translated into other fetishes. Like you said, a foot fetish could easily be foot worship. And it's almost one and the same. Or the oral fixation,
Yay.
either geared towards the male or female.
Or both.
It could also be the considered worship of that area.
Mhm.
Or it can even be as superficial as the reason why all the beach babes hanging down at the beach, to see all the muscles, because they worship the muscles.
Welcome to the gun show. Yeah.
You know, they don't
the beach
fixate.
vibe.
They don't fixate on a sexual part of the body. They're just really sexually aroused and fixated on muscle structure or stuff like that.
Do you know, when I picture body worship of any sort, one couple I picture. Morticia and Gomez Adams.
Oh. Yes.
Yes. Life goals.
Yeah.
Especially with Gomez. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is probably the most perfect example of what body worship entails, because especially to an individual, like her whole body was his temple, and he was so madly in love, and he expressed it. I think with this kink, it's not so much just having the thoughts, but expressing them in such a manner. Because this kink, definitely, to give it justice, does require 2 or more people, because it is very much an act of doing something to show tribute or appreciation for your partner. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Does it
I
have
can
to be
worship
your
pictures all
partner?
day long. I don't mean like partner as in, your girlfriend, boyfriend. I meant like when you're showing said, you show it towards somebody. You don't worship yourself. It's not a solo activity.
I mean, if you're flexible enough, you can be self-worshiping them feet and stuff.
I mean, you
Cuddling and
can.
caressing.
I'm not talking. I mean, of course, there's always exceptions to the rule for everything. I'm talking about a general broad of the definition. This is something.
And we will find them. We will always find the exceptions.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not trying. I'm not trying to nitpick this down. I'm just trying to make a broad statement that
Yeah.
the act of worship is usually towards another person.
Yes.
So
Most definitely.
Yeah. Or whoever's in there at the time, I guess.
well, you guys were gonna nitpick. Go ahead and give me your examples. Prove me wrong.
We never
Well,
said we
what
were.
if you're watching porn?
That's
Or-
worship towards somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't think
But
that'd
you're
be
not-
that'd be a tease though, because that's not a physical interaction. Most people want the
Yeah.
touch or the caress or the kiss, the actual physical embodiment of worships.
Because I see that more of obsessing, not worshiping. Worshiping is the act of showing that person the attention. Because,
Yes.
I mean, you pull up pictures of Helena Bonham Carter, I will worship those pictures all day long, but it's not me worshiping, it's me obsessing. Especially from Fight Club. Oh my God, just saying.
Yes, taking pictures or watching from the bushes is not worship. It's
No.
stalking.
That's
It's
stalking.
Worship.
Let's just clear up the
That's not
what is
consented
not
to.
worship.
Yeah.
Because I feel
I've
that
had stalkers.
they-
Those aren't fun.
yeah,
Consent
Yeah,
is
if-
key.
Sophia,
If
there's
you
a
don't-
gray
if they
line here
don't-
too, so we have to make sure we understand. This is the gray line. This is the red line. No.
No.
If the other party is not aware that you are worshiping them, seek psychiatric help.
No, okay, what about hair, for example? Like, I know that it they like to like what I like to play with my hair. I appreciate hair.
And we
Like, is
appreciate
that
when you
a
do.
But
is
will
that
you take the time to? Will you get gratification from worshiping your own hair,
no.
Hmm.
or just seeing pictures of hair? Technically, you're just enjoying hair at that point in time.
Mm,
Worshiping
I
is
see.
actually, by definition, the act of appreciating an individual's part, especially body worship. This is very much an intimate act. And the only way to do it in a group style is if there's one centered person being worshipped. Like several people can worship your hair at the same time, but if you are someone who wants to worship, you can't worship multiple people at the same time. It is body worship essentially is isolation of an individual with the adoration of adoring them.
Rebecca in the middle of a worship
Adoration.
circle. Mm.
What did I say?
You said adoration. It's adoration.
Adoration. I know how to say that word. I use words. I'm good at words. People always say that John, he knows all his words.
He
I
knows
can see
English
that
good.
though. I mean, it does make a difference. Like you can appreciate several sets of several sets of tits. You can,
Mm-hmm.
but to worship that, to touch them and massage them and whatever, like lick them, whatever, and that's a difference. That's a huge difference than
Mm-hmm.
just looking at them and appreciate them.
And I think that's what makes this, that's the definition of worship is like, I am choosing this above all else.
Hmm.
Like I said, I have a pantyhose fetish. I would absolutely worship somebody's legs and pantyhose. But until I actually start worshiping said legs, I am just adoring all the legs I see until then. I'm not worshiping. I don't go to Hooters and go, I'm worshiping everyone here. But if I'm with my partner and it's a very intimate, like worship is a very intimate process,
It
and
is
that's what escalates it to. Because anything under that is adoration.
adoration.
I said it right. You see, John, he knows
Yay!
his
Good for
words.
you.
Um,
So
and
would you
that's really
say
what this
that
kink is about.
worship is very intimate? I mean, I'm getting a feeling of it, but would you say that? Would you say it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would think so. Well, I okay. Just think of the word worship. I'm just think of the act of worshiping in a non-sexual sense. Like worshiping is a very personal. It is almost an emotional thing, not like. And I feel like that's maybe a different connection of worshiping in as a kink. Is it's not just lusting after whatever body part or lusting after this person. It is an like just like let's take Morticia and Gomez. It's an emotional. It's a deep like is beyond just a physical. It's where the physical and emotional connection meet. And that's where it becomes from admiring, lusting, and to worship. It is a whole body, whole emotional experience when you are dealing with that. I feel like that's the difference in worship versus adoration of whatever said body part or person. Is
Yes, and,
that's, you know,
and that's what
Oh.
turns it from a foot fetish into a foot worship.
yes.
Yes.
That deeper level
Um,
of connection between your desires and your emotions.
Now, don't get me wrong. This can be done with like dom sub relations, and doesn't necessarily have to have a deep emotional connection. I'm not saying like I can go to, let's say if I was a sub, I could go to a dom and say, hey, I'm going to pay you good money to let me worship your feet, and that's it. But in that very brief moment that I am worshiping your feet, that's my subspace. My subspace
Mhm.
is that this is life. This is acceptance. And I think that's where, it's not that you lose intimacy, but it's not like necessarily something that you have to like build a relationship with. I can go out and worship anybody. It's like, well, again, consent, because anything else short of that is stalking. Um, and that's your subspace is that emotional connection to the particular part of the body you are worshiping.
Yes,
Like
and
instead of a normal subspace where you kind of disconnect from yourself, you connect.
I get that way. I get that way when I'm performing oral. I do. Like, and that's why it's on my fetish kink list. Like, I love going down on somebody. I appreciate that part of a person. Like, I don't necessarily like it is. I'll spend my time down there. It's not a, oh, I've got to do this till the next. Like, I really do enjoy that, and it is a like it the act of it is very much more than just a physical act for me. So
yeah,
I get that.
and the emotional deep connection. It doesn't have to be specific to that person to worship them. This can be just a emotional connection to that aspect of a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Oh.
elbow, as you said, those hands, that, and then there's a certain type of look or feel of that aspect that really zooms you in on particular types of people, not just everybody, but can be just the muscles or just feet, not necessarily that person.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's where you form that emotional connection, and this will sound much sadder than it actually is, but you will form that emotional connection with that body part. Foot worship is the greatest example. When if I were to worship feet, the emotional connection we were just talking about develops not so much with the person, but with their feet. Exactly what you were saying,
Hmm.
and that
And can it be a?
becomes
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no. I mean, that becomes their object of obsession, and it's just being consumed by that.
And I wonder if it's not necessarily like could it be not necessarily a situation of like a foot worship, but I mean, I wonder if there are people out there that are even more specific, like it is a leather boot on a foot. Something really specific and defined as the worship.
Absolutely. Oh no, absolutely. That is very common. I actually saw a video of um, when I was looking up stuff like this, is of somebody worshiping a high heel on somebody's foot, and they
Mm-hmm.
licked it clean. Very common with shoe fetishes is worship. That is very common. So this absolutely can fall into the paraphilia aspect of I am attracted to shoes, I am attracted to gloves, I am attracted to pantyhose, and then have that I am worshiping this item on you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it is that extension. It's not so much you're worshiping the person, but the item.
I feel like that goes the same with hair. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they like to run their fingers through it and brush it, and have your head in their lap just so they can just feel and stroke like that type of
Or even
you know
offer to, fully wash and shampoo and rinse. I
hmm
mean, the full 9 yard there in those cases.
Oh, absolutely. Hair washing is a big part of worship. It's just full maintenance. If
I
you
think
want
washing in
beautiful
general.
hair, yeah. If you want full
Hmm.
service care, find someone who wants to worship that part of the body.
I
And
have very
if you're
little to
smart
offer,
about
but I'll
it,
offer what I can.
um,
I have nice hair.
the cool part is you get a whole team of people who want to worship an individual part of your body, and then you get the full spa treatment. That's what I totally do. Yeah, right.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Especially when you have like
yeah.
the hand fetish. Well, then they'll be doing some
Mhm.
manis and petties.
Manis and
I need to go
petties
get my nails
and
done.
hand massages,
I'm
hair.
missing out. What?
You are.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
And
listen.
that's all they want to
gonna make
do.
a list. I'm gonna make a list, and we're just gonna have a worship Rebecca party, and it's just.
hmm
I mean,
Now the
I'm all
trick
about
is,
that.
don't overbook yourself. Don't get two hair fetish people because they're going to be fighting over. You're going to have two different
No, it'll
things
be a
going
sign up.
on.
You have to sign
Yeah.
up. You have to. It's a list. You have to.
So now you're
sign
gonna make a
up.
collection. You're gonna have a hand worshiper, a foot worshiper, and a hair worshiper.
But I think
Oh
wait,
wow!
could you do two foot worshipers and two hand worshipers since you have two hands
Oh,
and
I
two
could.
feet? Do you just give them one, or do you give
I
one person both? That's the real
Yes.
trick right here. Is like
No, I
what
feel
what's the better
I
system?
feel like if I was going to be a kind and caring deity and let them worship
Mhm.
me properly, that they would need to get both my hands and both my feet. So one person for my hair, one person for my hands, and one person for my feet.
All right. See, I can get behind that. I think I would go. I think I would go the
What
more.
is with the stairs tonight?
I think I would go because I am just like I would go the opposite. One on each.
I know.
Oh.
I
They
was
can
just thinking about it. I was like,
switch.
if you find some butt worshippers, you give one person each a cheek. Mm-hmm.
No,
Just
I
pampered
think
right
like
there.
I would double
I
your
think
pleasure.
I think a butt pleasure. I mean, butt worship is just that the butt
Butt
is
pleasure.
one item. The butt is one item.
I
You
agree.
can't split them
The
up.
butt is one
you
item.
can't-
I love that.
Yeah.
We're
But does that
itemizing.
mean
One
like if
item.
they
Is it
worship
tax
my if
season?
they worship my
Is that we're
tits, like
itemizing?
so they're together? They're two separate though. Or like
Well, they are
But is it
separate.
chest worship? The chest
But
is
part
one
of
chest.
yeah, the part of the worship is probably getting in between them. And if
that's
you
called
two people
motorboating.
worshiping, yeah. But have you never had somebody not motorboat but bury their face and kiss you and on your sternum right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Yeah, you've had a face
Okay.
between your
All
boobs
right.
that weren't wasn't immediately followed by
Oh my god.
Wow.
that comes later. Or
I
actually
usually put
that
I'm
comes
usually the
early.
person that shoves my tits in somebody's face and then like shimmies and just motorboats opposite
Motorboats
motorboats.
yourself, yeah.
I do. I'm like just
That's actually
just
that's
'cause
not
it's
motorboating.
fun.
That's called choppy waters.
It's called choppy waters.
Yeah, because
Wow.
the motor is not doing anything, but the ocean is just going nuts.
I've
No, it's
done
going
that several
tits.
times. Here, boom.
That
Yeah,
ocean is going
it's
tits
fun.
up, not nuts.
listen, that's called choppy waters. That's what I'm gonna call
Choppy
that.
waters. Now
Choppy
I'm learning.
waters.
I'm learning new things every day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean I just made that up, but I think it sticks. I think it works. If I stick
Let's
my
make it
face
happen.
in your boobs, yeah. If I stick my face in your boobs and then use my face to motorboat you, that's motorboating. But if you stick your breast on me and motorboat me with them, that's choppy waters.
Yes. See, that's right though. That's so
Mhm.
right. And you know what? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or depending on the size
I am
of the
Rebecca,
chest,
and I
it could be
approve
a
that message.
tectonic movement. Seismic.
Earthquake.
No, that's not ass.
That's a yes. That's an
Yeah.
ass. That ass.
We all know the
There's a
motion
quake
of
in
the
that
ocean.
shake.
Motion of the ocean is the boobies. The quake in that shake is that booty.
Oh, got it.
You heard it here, folks.
I mean, I think so, but all right. So now I think we've thoroughly covered worship and everything it tells into it.
Yes, and we
is this
made sure
something-
to be wary of the red flags, people. So, again, this is one that could instantly go from good to bad.
Mhm.
So, be watchful and be mindful of your actions.
Consent is key. Consent is key.
Always ask permission before worship, and if the answer is no, you find a new god
Or a
or
goddess,
goddess.
or damn,
A deity.
Maybe
a deity.
maybe it's
I was about to
time
say,
to
I
switch
got stuck.
religions.
Be a
Um,
polytheist.
Polytheist. Yeah, I like that.
You can be a polytheist.
Polytheist.
You can be a Buddhist to get the booty.
And that goes. That also goes. You can worship more than one item, body part.
Mhm.
So you can be a polytheist. Polytheist.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, okay. Well, you guys would do this, right? Is this just something like I know it is on
Oh.
your list?
Yeah.
Miss Rebecca.
Yes.
What about you, Shep? Would you worship somebody or have somebody worship? Now, because that's the thing. Is this doesn't necessarily fall on Dom and sub because I know Doms who will worship a sub. Absolutely, just
Oh, I expect
worship.
my doms to worship me. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I that's an expectation. That's on the that's like on the
This over encompass it. So I definitely want to get your opinion, Mr. Shep, on would you do this, or what's your opinions on can it be done, Dom sub?
Of course. I mean, it can be done Dom sub. It can be done without, because this is not an exclusive Dom or doming and submissive style relationship in this case. So yeah, I mean, it could be a thing for sure.
Shep worships me. It's fine.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
again with the faces. Oh, Jesus.
I am
All
pulling
right,
up
fine, I
our
quit.
will. I am
quit.
literally
I
pulling
quit.
up our will. I wasn't.
I'm just
even
I'm
looking
giving
at
up
you.
on my creation of my secret sect. I mean, she just won't let it happen. So
Yeah,
I just have to be common
pulling up
and
the
out
will
there
for
like
the next
everyone
episode.
else.
I can't even see her, and she's accusing me of staring.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him in his face when I said that.
Sure. Well, with further
Oh
ado,
my God.
I'm pulling up the will, so you guys can check it out and see what we're spinning.
All right. No
Check it
more
out one
puns.
time,
You
won't
got tired of trying for us to guess. You just want us to see it now. Is that it?
I mean, you don't
he
have
shows
to
us
watch.
once,
You
and he always
absolutely
wants
don't
us
have
to
to
see it
watch.
now.
I
know,
like
he
I
always
like
wants
y'all
us
watch.
to
I
see
like
it.
making y'all watch.
Well, there you have it.
Which? Okay. All right. It was right on the line. Did you guys see?
No, it
Or
wasn't.
should I make some puns?
I saw it.
It was
Yeah.
pretty much on that line.
Nope.
And
It was.
it's
Oh,
about
there he
time to be
goes.
hitting that dusty trail. Ready for bed, but not quite asleep yet. We got that groggy feeling going on. And so next week, I think we're all going to put our sleep caps on. We're going to podcast from our pajamas, and we're going to talk about sleepy sex. Now, we're not talking about sex in your sleep. We're talking about that almost intoxicated feeling right before you fall asleep, but you're also incredibly horny, so you wake yourself up with sex. This one I actually dig. I am absolutely for this because it's either a evening plan or a morning plan, depending on which side you want to be of that sleepy. Are you waking up with a little butt in your
Wake
cup,
up in the morning and I raise my
or are you
head.
doing, or are you turning in early with a nice warm cup of boob? So that's it. Next week we were talking about sleepy sex, not to be confused with sleep
Morning
sex.
cup of boob. Wow.
Morning. Best part about waking up is butt in your cup.
What?
Yeah.
How about
a warm glass of boob milk for before you go to bed, and waking up with a little butt stuff. Yeah. Okay,
All
well,
right.
fine. Must just be me, and that means
I-
I am your host, John
Yeah.
Dondero. And
We're
with me
a
as
scary group tonight.
Yeah, you guys were just staring at me like I, added something horrible to the wheel. I'm like, guys, I'm excited
Well,
about this one.
Funny how people are talking about me staring when my eyes aren't even open at this present moment.
That's right. We're a stary
So
bunch.
what was that? What was that?
All right. So with me tonight is the only woman who could ever be referred to as Morticia because of the amount people want to worship her, Miss Rebecca.
good evening, everyone.
And a man with such a soothing voice, he would put Morgan Freeman to shame, Mr. Shep.
That's some bullshit right there. But until next time.
Oh. Remember to follow us on all that social media at DinksWithKinks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And tune in every Friday night at twitch.tv/thedondero, 10 p.m. Eastern, to see these wonderful faces talk about kink. You can chat with us live. It's cool. It's a live stream, so we're communicating with the audience. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Good night, everybody.